Now at 9, heartbreak and devastation across the South and Midwest. At least 26 people killed after powerful tornadoes tore through towns. People comparing the damage to a war zone.
And we are going to see another spring-like day. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler. We do have the chance of rain and some gusty winds on the way. We'll talk about that coming up.
And wedding season is around the corner, which means it's time to compile your party playlist. We're revealing which tunes keep your guests dancing and the top song to avoid. You're going to want to see it.
Plus, great minds think alike. Wait until you hear the response from Matt Damon and Ben Affleck when I ask one of the more unusual questions. That's coming up next in entertainment.
And we are live at the Wiggle Waggle Walk. Let's get wiggly and waggling. Go for it. Let's go, dogs. Who let the dogs out? Let's go. Much more coming up when the KTLA Weekend News continues after this.
Oh, love to see those dogs out there this morning. Good morning to you and welcome to the KTLA Weekend Morning News at 9 o'clock. I'm Lauren Lister.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. So now we have the answer of who let the dogs out. It was Wendy.
Very good line.
Good.
Woof, woof, if you can actually have a weather toss that's as good.
Okay,
Ready, go.
That's tough. You know, the thing is when you take your dogs out
Yes. It's going to be a nice day to walk them.
and they're wiggling and waggling,
Yeah.
you don't want to have any drizzle and
Dazzling.
yeah, I was thinking of something like
Guys, that was a 4.
that. I tried, Casey. I tried.
Oh, all right. I'm scared of Lauren, so we're just going to leave it at that. All right. Outside we go. Look at that hazy sunshine. Yes, it's going to be mostly sunny today. A little bit of cloud cover for the coastal spots in Orange County today, but another glorious afternoon. 55 in Santa Monica right now, 59 in Fullerton. It's 53 in Chino and 58 in Lancaster. This is what temperatures this afternoon will look like. 70 for El Monte, also 70 in Van Nuys and Santa Clarita, 65 for Santa Ana, and 84 degrees in Palm Springs. Now, some of you watching right now, will be in the 80s by next weekend. We're going to talk about that coming up. Back to you.
Casey, thank you. Now at 9:02, devastating tornadoes ripped through the South and Midwest, leaving at least 26 people dead.
Federal help is on the way for the hardest hit communities. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos is live in studio with the latest on relief efforts. Annie Rose, you have been following this all morning long. So devastating.
Yeah.
And that death toll growing all morning long. Lauren, at this hour, the Associated Press reporting 26 people have died across the South and Midwest after confirmed and suspected tornadoes touched down in at least 9 states on Friday and Saturday, tearing up towns and cities, destroying homes and businesses. At least 9 were killed in Tennessee alone, including 2 children. 4 in Arkansas, 4 are dead in Illinois, and 3 in Indiana. Deaths also being reported in Alabama and Mississippi, and the destruction is widespread. A roof collapsing of a packed concert venue in Illinois and in Indiana Saturday. Urban search and rescue teams were pulling victims out of the rubble. In Arkansas, in the small town of Wynne, where 4 people died, one woman describing how their town center suffered heavy damage.
Everything's gone. Everything's gone. It's overwhelming for me and the community. This is the heart of our community, and there's a lot that's missing now. And I feel for all the families that are without a home.
And the National Weather Service now confirming an EF3 tornado touched down in Little Rock, Arkansas on Friday. The wind speeds of about 160 miles per hour, leveling entire neighborhoods. The governor in Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, declaring a state of emergency and activating the National Guard.
I also spoke with the FEMA director, Criswell, earlier this evening and have already requested federal assistance.
Last week, when 3 tornadoes killed 21 people in Mississippi, prompting President Biden to visit those affected towns and communities on Friday, touring the tornado damage and pledging the federal government will not leave until the area is back on its feet. Now he is doing the same for the state of Arkansas, ordering this morning federal aid to the state to help with recovery efforts. But still, tens of thousands remain without power in multiple states this morning. The National Weather Service is also forecasting another round of intense storms later this week. Reporting live, I'll send it back to you both.
Annie Rose, thank you. In Hollywood, the search continues for a shooter accused of gunning down 2 men overnight. It all began just after midnight at a strip mall on Sunset in La Brea. Investigators say a group of people were in the parking lot when some kind of altercation broke out. The suspect then pulled out a gun and fired multiple rounds at the victims. One died at the scene and the other person was transported to the hospital where he later died. The gunman had already fled by the time police arrived. Anyone with information is asked to contact LAPD.
An apparent drug deal gone wrong ended with at least 1 person dead and 3 others critically injured in the San Fernando Valley. This happened around 3:45 yesterday afternoon in the Trader Joe's parking lot in West Hills. Police believe at least 2 people opened fire during the dispute. One of the suspects took off from the scene and later crashed into an innocent driver who did suffer some non-life-threatening injuries. That suspect then somehow switched to another vehicle, that one driven by a woman, but ultimately, the suspect surrendered. The deadly shootout left shoppers and local residents terrified in the aftermath.
When we realized it was gunshots, we were really scared because we just did not expect that, especially over here. We live right down the street.
I mean, everybody was panicking. It's not something that we're used to. So it's such a bad experience. Yeah, beautiful day and, around here, but ended up in such a tragedy.
The victim who died at the scene is only described as a 45-year-old. Police say they did recover 2 firearms connected to the case and have at least 3 suspects in custody. The investigation is ongoing.
The Newport Beach attorney who allegedly scammed a lender out of $10 million to fund a lavish Las Vegas lifestyle is now blaming her husband. Sarah Jacqueline King claims her husband pressured her to gamble the millions in an effort to win enough money to repay the loans she took out from a lending company she worked for. King filed a counterclaim against her husband last week, but a U.S. district judge ruled the case deficient because the original lawsuit against her did not name her husband. Last year, King spent 8 months at a Vegas resort, frequenting casinos around the clock.
Now at 9, police have arrested a man accused of stealing several cell phones from a musical festival in the Inland Empire. Rancho Cucamonga police have identified the suspect as 23-year-old Ronald Bermudez Carrillo. They say they found 2 backpacks filled with several phones during a traffic stop. Police say the phones were stolen from the Beyond Wonderland Festival in San Bernardino. Victims looking to claim their stolen phone can email saferca@sbcsd.org. You see it right there at the bottom of your screen. Officials were...
Yeah, look at that. Former NBA star turned sports commentator Charles Barkley in disbelief as San Diego State beats Florida Atlantic in the final seconds of the game. The Aztecs now heading to the NCAA title game tomorrow. 7,000 fans flooded the hardwood at San Diego State's arena to celebrate the historic win. The Aztecs were down for most of the match, but they were able to pull off a miracle here. An incredible buzzer beater. Aztecs take it 72-71 and advance to the finals for the first time in program history.
I'm so excited right now. Go Aztecs! And now we're going all the way.
She is excited. We heard it.
Yeah.
They will play UConn for the trophy tomorrow at 6:20. Who are you rooting for?
SDSU.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's what I'm going for.
Obviously. Our neighbor. UCLA Gymnastics is moving on to the NCAA Championships. It's thanks in part to freshman Selena Harris, who delivered a perfect 10 on the vault. Harris helped to end the program's longest nationals drought in UCLA history. The Bruins will now try to claim their first title since 2018.
Definitely going to be rooting for my Bruins.
Of course.
Now, one of our favorite events of the year is happening right now at Brookside Park in Pasadena.
We're talking about the Wiggle Waggle Walk. It's proudly supported by KTLA, celebrating its 25th year of raising funds for animals in need. That's where we find Wendy Birch. Wendy, I love seeing you kick off the dog run, and now you have a big dog friend.
What? It's true. They said, which reporter at KTLA has the best wiggle waggle, and it was unanimous. Sorry, Lauren. Weren't in the running on that one. I totally had that wiggle waggle. So here we go. I got Wiggle Waggle Wally. right here. And just, he needs an introduction, but Murphy Brown, the dog, my golden retriever. This is Jay. He is amazing. He really calls the shots and blows the horn at Santa Anita. Jay, you gave us that opening ditty to get everybody going. Do you know anything else kind of dog related? Okay, let's see what he's got.